submitted to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Zoom master, please start the recording. Welcome to Leadership 6, an advanced Toastmaster club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am John Ojefo, your Sergeant at Arms of the meeting. And here is our club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And here is our leadership statement. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster of the day, who will lead our meeting, is Irene Sadia. Toastmaster Irene has been a Toastmaster for a little over 2 years. She is a teacher. Her most fulfilling work is teaching children between the ages of 5 and 8. They keep her learning, patient, creative, and adaptable. They love unreservedly. Please help me warmly welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Irene Sadia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, John. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all Toastmasters and our guests, and especially our guests. Today, our theme is Lead with Impact, the Power of Transformation. I could very quickly give you the meaning or the description of the word transformation, which means a complete change in the appearance or character of something or someone, so that the thing or the person is improved. I would like to quickly share a story. There was a young boy who started to play soccer at the age of 4. He was encouraged by his grandmother. And at age 10, the doctors noticed that he wasn't developing as he should have. And so he was diagnosed with a growth deficiency hormone. At that point, it looked like his career had ended before it even began. But then the doctors found a solution. And so solution was daily injections to help improve his growth. The injections were expensive, and his family could only do so much. And then help came to them. The soccer club FC Barcelona came to their rescue and took up the rest of the cost of those injections. And by the time the injections were done, this young player was now 1.7 meters tall, which then allowed him to play. He was still small, but it was good enough to allow him to play. And if any of you are soccer fans like me, I think you already know who I'm talking about. This young player is Lionel Messi. He turned around a situation that looked like he was completely finished. He would never play soccer. And that was his dream. That was the dream of his parents. That was the dream of his grandmother. And Messi has won so many awards. He's won 4 championship leagues. He's won 10 Spanish leagues, 8 Ballon d'Ors, the highest any player has ever gotten in the world. It is said there is no more room in his cabinet for trophies. But I don't want to tell you everything about the power of transformation. I will leave it there for a little bit. And I would like our guests, if this is, you tend to like what you're hearing already, I would like Hannah to please post in the chat the guest book. And our guests, as soon as that link is posted, click on it. It won't take you more than 30 seconds to fill it out. And then later on in the meeting, we are going to have a chat with all our guests. So please stay on to the end of the meeting. So right now, I would quickly want to call Nicole Whyte, who will be raising the toast to our theme. There she is. Nicole, how are you today?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Over to you.
Of course, Madam Toastmaster Irene, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It's an honor to talk to you today about the power of transformation. One can argue that transformation doesn't usually happen in an instant, but can happen over a lifetime with far-reaching results, reverberating through generations. Malcolm X was a fearless advocate for justice, using his voice to awaken a generation to realize the oppression, or rather the racial oppression and self-determination. However, many would be surprised to learn of his muddled origin, a troubled past, charged for various crimes, and incarcerated for 6 years. Cocooned behind bars, he immersed himself in books, learning and educated himself on philosophy, history, and religion, discovering a newfound sense of purpose, discipline, identity, turning him into a powerful orator and leader who came to embrace change and harness the energy to marshal the community with authority. Our president and founder of this premier community, Bram Memon, operates in a similar capacity. Yes, his disposition encapsulates his authentic goal of inspiring and motivating us to achieve our full potential, stimulating a mindset of growth, innovation with vim and vigor. He fosters an environment where we are all challenged to evolve. Through his vision, he cultivates a space where ideas flourish, confidence is built, and every member feels empowered to lead with purpose. His commitment to leadership development and mentorship not only strengthens our community, but also highlights the true value of guiding others toward success. I've had the privilege of mentoring final year students at the University of the West Indies, Jamaica. I've witnessed how their lives unfold in real time, their potential nurtured, enveloped in a ballooning trajectory. Seeing these students step into their purpose reminds me that true leadership isn't about personal success, but also the impact we have on others along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please unmute your microphones. Open your cameras. Raise your glasses. Here's to the power of transformation.
Yes.
The power
Cheers.
of
Power of
Power
transformation.
of transformation.
Transformation.
cheers.
Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nicole, for raising the toast to the power of transformation. I'm joined by a team of other role takers. And the first role taker I want to call is our timer. Holmes, please let us know what you will be doing today.
Good day, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Holmes, your timer for today. I shall time you according to the time on the agenda. After each session, I will post them in the chat box. Thank you so much. Back to Madam Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you, timer Holmes. Our next role taker is our grammarian, Toastmaster Atul. Kindly let us know what your role entails.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to the language usage. I will take a note on misuse of English language as well as any outstanding words, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is articulate. The word is articulate, which means to express ideas, thoughts, or feelings clearly and effectively in speech or writing. Example, she was able to articulate her vision for the company in a way that inspired both investors and employees. I urge fellow Toastmasters and guests to use the word of the day, articulate. Articulate. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Grammarian Atul. Our guests, if you've just joined us, Hannah will be sharing a link in the chat box for you to fill in, and we would like to engage with you at a later stage during this meeting. Now, at Leadership Speak, one of the things we do to ensure that we are raising leadership to the next level is the Toastmaster of the day collaborates with the education speaker. And the education speaker has a speech of 18 to 22 minutes. So they work together, they collaborate to make sure that they deliver speech that speaks to the theme of the day. At this point, I would like to invite Renan Ercilla, who is our education speaker. Renan will articulate this theme a lot more than we have spoken to already. And his evaluator is Ray Rivero. All right, Ray, over to you.
Madam Master, and our leadership speaker, Renan. Renan has asked me to review his presentation today to articulate how he will apply feedback from his speech presented at Leadership Speak on February 22nd. The feedback that he received from Guerdah is to show more enthusiasm and effectiveness in the delivery of his message. He's also asked me to watch any part of his delivery and any unnecessary movements that would distract him from presenting his message. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Ray. Renan, how are you today?
Good. I'm
Perfect.
really prepared for this speech.
Okay. All right. Renan Ercilla, Beyond Limits. Beyond Limits, Renan Ercilla. Over to you.
Good day, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests wherever you are in the world. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a great chasm. On one side, you have your comfort zone. What you know, what it feels, what you feel familiar, what feels safe to you. On the other side lies growth, success, and untapped potential. The only way to cross is by embracing transformation. The bridge that connects where you are now and to where you aspire to be. Transformation is the driving force behind innovation, self-improvement, and meaningful change. It enables individual and organizations to move beyond outdated ways of thinking, embrace fresh perspective, and unlock the full potential. The true transformation is not just about making adjustment. It's about complete reinvention. It requires the courage to challenge norms, the flexibility to navigate challenges, and the determination to keep evolving. Whether it's shifting your mindset, advancing your career, or revolutionizing an entire organization or yourselves. Transformation paves the way for new opportunities. Each step forward transformation or redefines success, strengthens relationships, and builds a lasting impact. Transformation is not just a single event. It's a continuous journey that fuels progress and shapes a brighter future. Embrace it and experience the profound difference it can make on every aspect of your life. I am going to explore things to you, what transformation truly means and why it is essential. Second, how leadership plays a vital role in driving transformation. Third, two inspiring real-world examples of transformation I will share to you. Actionable steps you can take to embrace transformation into your own life. I hope to inspire you to not just accept transformation, but to actively seek it, embrace it, and lead it. First, the essence of transformation. What is transformation? Many people mistake it for simple change, adjusting small things here and there. But true transformation is much deeper. It's about completely redefining the way we think, act, and operate. Let's take nature as an example. Consider the caterpillar. Caterpillar doesn't just grow wings and call itself a butterfly. It undergoes a complete metamorphosis, which was the word of the day last meeting, right? Metamorphosis inside the cocoon. The process is painful and requires time. But the result is breathtaking freedom, beauty, and flight. In the same way, transformation in our lives requires us to go through challenges, to let go of limiting beliefs and to push ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. Fellow Toastmasters, guess there are 3 key elements of transformation: vision, courage, and resilience. Vision, you must first see the possibility of something greater. Courage, change is uncomfortable, and transformation requires stepping into the unknown. Third, resilience, the journey will have setbacks, but persistence leads to breakthroughs. Now that we understand or I discussed the transformation, what is transformation? Let's explore how leadership plays a crucial role in it. Leadership is more than just guiding others. It's about inspiring meaningful change. Transformative leader doesn't just maintain the status quo. They challenge it. Think about the leaders who have left a mark on the world, whether in business, politics, science, or even within our communities. What do they have in common? They embrace transformation and inspired others to do the same. Transformative leaders have these qualities. Encourages innovation. They create an environment where people feel safe to try new ideas. They lead by example. They don't just talk about change, they embody it. They empower others. Because true transformation is not just personal. It's about uplifting those around you. They stay adaptable. In a constantly changing world, leaders must evolve to stay relevant. Now let's take a look at powerful examples of transformation, one in business and one in personal growth. Steve Jobs and reinvention of his company Apple. You know, in 1997, Apple was struggling. The company was close to bankruptcy, its products were failing, and it had lost its vision. Enter Steve Jobs. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple, he did not just make minor adjustments. He transformed the entire company. He simplified Apple product line, focusing on quality over quantity. He introduced iconic innovation like the iPhone that we know, iPad, MacBook. He created a brand identity that was not just about technology, but about changing the way people live. Steve Jobs' leadership proved that transformation requires bold vision, strategic action, and the courage to take risks. Apple went from near bankruptcy to becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. Second example, Oprah Winfrey's journey of personal and professional growth. Oprah Winfrey's story is one of resilience and transformation. She was born into poverty and faced incredible challenges, but she refused to let her circumstances define her. She broke barriers as a woman of color in the media industry. She transformed a talk show host into a global influencer, philanthropist, and entrepreneur. And she continuously reinvented herself, creating OWN, OWN, or stands for Oprah Winfrey Network, and using this platform to inspire millions of people. Oprah's transformation was not just about career success. She used her journey to empower others, proving that transformation is not just about personal gain, but making an impact. Now you might be thinking, that's great for Steve Jobs and Oprah, but how can we apply transformation on our own lives? For my personal journey of transformation, I was a very shy person before, a timid one. I would rather die than talk. In fact, I had having hard time before to articulate myself in communication. And I made a lot of excuses to be late and attend meetings before. Not only in work meetings, but in fact, in my 1 to 2 months as a new Toastmaster before, when I joined Toastmaster in 2020, my 1 to 2 months, I used to be late in table topics because I'm afraid to speak and place in an impromptu situation. But I realized that it is okay to commit mistakes and learn from it, to continue transforming yourself to become the best version or reach your full potential. Now my journey in transforming myself continues. As in my career as one of the HR managers in our company, I help in aligning people's strategies with business goals, driving cultural change, and fostering innovation through talent development, change management, and employee engagement. I realized that transformation is not only for selected individuals. Transformation is for everyone. It's not only about or reserved for CEO like Steve Jobs and celebrity like Oprah Winfrey. The practical ways to embrace innovation. Adapt a growth mindset. View challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Be open to learning and improving yourself every day. Second, step outside your comfort zone. Growth mindset: when we push past fear, take small risks, try new experience, speak up in meetings, start a new project. Then the third, lead with purpose. Whether in your career, personal life, Toastmasters community, seek ways to influence and inspire change. And then encourage transformation in those around you. Be a mentor, a motivator, and guide. Let me leave you with this thought. Transformation is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing journey. It takes courage to change. It takes resilience to overcome setbacks. But the rewards, they are limitless. We live in the world that is evolving faster than ever. Will you stay the same, or will you embrace transformation and reach your full potential. As you walk out here later after the meeting, ask yourself, what area of my life needs transformation? How can I start that journey today? Because when you choose transformation, you don't just change yourself. You change the world around you. That's all. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Irene.
Thank you, Renan. Well done. I like what you said, that transformation is painful, but the results, the rewards are limitless and are beautiful. So thank you very, very much. Our guests, Hannah will be posting a guest book in the chat. Please fill that out and we'll be reaching out to you later. So now we want to move into our other prepared speeches. And so we'll be calling up our first speaker. Our first speaker is Buhari Zayyad.
Let's give him a few seconds to switch on his video already requested, Irene.
Thank you, Nzinga. There is Buhari. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. All right. Buhari will be evaluated by Pulkit. Pulkit, please let us know the purpose of Buhari's speech.
Sure, Madam Toastmaster. So Buhari is going to deliver his level 2 project 2 from the Pathway Visionary Communication. This project is titled Understanding Your Leadership Style. The purpose statement of this project is a twofold approach. The first is for the member to identify their primary leadership style or styles. And the second is for the member to share some aspect of their primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Among other things, there are two focus areas which Buhari have requested me to evaluate him on. The first is his effort to envision the future, and the second is his connect with the audience. I wish him all the best. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster Irene.
Thank you, Evaluator Pulkit. Buhari Zayyad, looking forward. Buhari Zayyad, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Raise your hand if you are one who thinks he or she needs to learn more about leadership before becoming. Oh, there you are. I'm not alone. I have been nursing this feeling for a long time. I always feel like I should be part of a team, not leading. Leadership is a responsibility that one starts with you. It starts with you. You need to have some attributes and know yourself, like Aristotle would say. The first responsibility of a man is know thyself. You can only give out what you have. As a good leader, you are expected to spearhead a team of subordinates. It can be in the office, it can be in your home, or even in school. That is to say, leadership doesn't have any specific geographical boundary where one needs to be a leader. Throughout my life, I have passed through different stages that I see and the impact of leadership. I was able to articulate when someone was a good leader or even bad leader. Joining Toastmasters International, I was pushed and persuaded to be a club president, even when I felt like I still need a lot to learn in order to be a good leader. But then I started my journey, and looking forward, I had some goals I wanted to achieve. Membership growth, transforming members to becoming eloquent and sophisticated leaders where they would contribute to the world to being a better place. I realized that one of the attributes I had was to have specific insights on different members. Oh, this member is timid. Oh, this member feels so shy when he speaks on the stage. Oh, this member is confident. And as such, I tailored different approaches to fulfill the goals of those members when they joined Toastmasters International. Oh, that is coaching. Coaching style of leadership was one of my primary leadership attributes that I have. Of course, leaders are made, but not born. Which means that leadership is an art and it could be learned. I used those skills to spearhead one of the members that was shivering on day one. She couldn't present a stable icebreaker. After coaching her through the level 1 curriculum of Toastmasters, I am happy to announce that a few months ago, a guest that attended our meeting stood up and said, "Hello, I want to speak like that member." A few months back, that member was timid and very shy. My coaching style of leadership helped. For some, I used a democratic style of leadership. For some, I used servant leadership. And for some, I had to be autocratic. You are presenting a speech next week. I know you have a lot of speeches. Your issue is procrastination. And it helped me come in. When I started my career in the banking sector, particularly sales industry, I remember I was given the designation of assistant manager in the branch. But you know what? I was the youngest among the team members. What should I do? As the youngest team member, and I'm the assistant branch manager, meaning that if the lead of the team is not around, I would be in charge, leading grown-up people older than myself. Can you imagine that? But then I realized one way I would use to captivate the minds of my team members was to be a democratic leader. I should make them own the process. So when it comes to signing up accounts, I call them and say, what do you think we should do? What strategy do we adapt to gain customers? And of course, as older they are, they tend to split wisdom. I think we should do this. I think we should do this. By so doing, it made me realize that giving them the opportunity to own the process brought a lot of wins to my team, where we had a lot of account acquisitions and met a lot of objectives. And then I realized democratic style of leadership worked for me. Looking forward, I intend to be a board member in a microfinance bank that enables access to finance and drives financial inclusion for people to be included into the financial system, to do business, to get credit, to have access to finance that will boost the economy in the small and medium enterprise. Looking forward, I see myself also being a board member in the Apex Bank as far as the financial institution is concerned, the IMF, the African Development Bank. But I wouldn't be able of that good quality leadership. And so I come here today with confidence, articulated confidence that I have coaching style of leadership, democratic style of leadership, and I even would look forward to giving you more leadership styles like that when I go and practice being a board member in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership, a key ingredient, drives team in achieving goals, that drives you as a person. You transform people to be better versions of themselves. Know your leadership style. And leadership style should not be something that is fixed, rather flexible, based on the situation. Thank you. Back to you, the Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Buhari, thank you for your speech and for that you've been able to articulate your leadership styles and when to apply each style. All right, we would like to move to our second speaker today. Our second speaker is Nellie Ayodo. There she is. Hello, Nellie.
Hi.
All right. Good to see you. And Nellie will be evaluated by Aruna So. Aruna? There he is. Aruna, how are you today?
I'm good, dear TMOD.
Right. Please let us know what Nellie's will be telling us about today.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, dear Toastmaster, fellow guests. Today, I have the honor to evaluate Nellie's speech. Nellie will present a Project 1 Level 1 speech from Motivational Strategies Pathway. It is an icebreaker speech, and the objective of this speech is for Nellie to introduce herself to the club and to learn a basic structure of a public speech. In addition to this objective, Nellie would like to assess if her message is motivating and also to assess her vocal variety. The time delivering of Nellie's speech is 4 to 6 minutes, and during the evaluation part, I will give my feedback on Nellie's speech. Over to you, dear TMOD.
Thank you, Aruna. Nellie Ayodo, profound gratitude. Profound gratitude, Nellie Ayodo. Over to you.
No one has ever achieved great success without the help of others. It is only the wise and the confident that acknowledge this with profound gratitude. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, allow me to articulate my Toastmaster journey. I would like to tell you how I joined Toastmasters and what is keeping me in Toastmasters. Exactly 15 years ago, I joined Toastmasters. I heard about Toastmasters on the radio while I was taking my children to school. One of the members of Toastmasters was giving a pitch. I got interested and I went to the club one evening to listen what it was all about. I liked the way I was welcomed at the club. And I also liked that they challenged me to take up a table topic. I was blank. But I really liked the way people were expressing themselves. I liked the speeches, they were flawless. I decided to go back again. And at this particular time, there was an announcement that Nairobi Toastmasters was being formed and it was going to be a lunchtime club. And they were looking for people who would like to be in this club. So I jumped onto the bandwagon and I joined Nairobi Toastmasters. And there I met great sponsors. If I may mention that one of the sponsors were Rosie Rana, Pari Lalani, and Michael Kiruti. These are the giants I stand on their shoulders. They mentored us in every role, and they took time to just make Nairobi Toastmasters chatter. I have profound gratitude for the sponsors of this club, because it is because of them that I am a good communicator. Furthermore, I use the skills I learned in Toastmasters to take on a leadership role. In 2018, I decided to become a lady captain at one of the prestigious golf clubs in Kenya. And it is because of the confidence I got from the skills I learned in Toastmasters that gave me this encouragement. So there I had a committee of 12 people, and I was a lady captain for a year. And I used the skills from the chairman's manual to learn about how to chair the meeting and how to encourage my team. In fact, I used this project as a high performance project for Toastmasters. I have profound gratitude to Ralph Smedley for introducing the Toastmasters program 100 years ago. This program has enabled me to learn leadership skills, to be a good communicator, and to network with others. In 2016, there was a big conference in Nairobi organized by Toastmasters, known as the Best of Toastmasters, BOTEA in short, and I was part of the committee and I did the liaison. At that particular time, we were trying to organize a conference to bring Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and Ethiopia to Nairobi for our Toastmasters conference. Through networking project, I reached out to the members in these countries. And Toastmasters made my work very easy because I had taken on the project of networking. I have profound gratitude that Ralph Smedley introduced this program, and that the Pathways now has a project on networking. I also have profound gratitude that Rosie Rana is the one who gave me the link to Leadership Speak. And Dan Odero encouraged me to join. Dan and Rosie were in my club in Nairobi Toastmasters with me, but they took it upon themselves to hold my hand and push me forward to Leadership Speak. So I am proudly a member of Leadership Speak. It took me about a year to become a member. I was a bit scared, and Dan actually talked me into it. And I have profound gratitude to Dan, because I really loved the way they did evaluations in this club, and I wanted to take my evaluations to the next level. So this year, I actually became a member of Leadership Speak. Oh, John Orteg once said that gratitude is like life, is a gift. And I am enjoying my life in Toastmasters. I'd like to urge all of you to immerse yourself in Toastmasters. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nellie. And apart from just becoming a better speaker, a better communicator, Nellie has shown us that we can take these skills onto the golf course. So I am really excited about that. All right, moving on to our third speaker. And our third speaker today is Paramjit Singh. Paramjit, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Irene?
Very well. Paramjit will be evaluated by Mrinal Kantigosh. There is Mrinal. Mrinal, how are you?
I'm fine.
Over to you. Let us know what Paramjit will be talking about today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, Toastmaster Paramjit delivering speech from Pathway Presentation Mastery Level 2 Project 1 Effective Body Language. The purpose statement of his project for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intention and unintentional body language, as well as learn, practice, refine how they use nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. I'll closely observe on the body language part how he delivered effective body language. So all the best to Toastmaster Paramjit. Back to you, Irene.
Thank you, Mrinal. Paramjit Singh, cost or investment? Cost or investment? Paramjit Singh, the stage is yours.
Hello, leaders. Imagine that you are sitting across a very powerful businessman who is giving you a wonderful opportunity, an incredible offer, which can change the course of your company. Of course, but you have to break a promise. You have to break a promise or a commitment which you have done with the other customer. What you will do? Will you take up the deal? Oh, justifying. Oh, it's fine. It's just a business. Or you will keep up your own words, even knowing that you are going to lose a big opportunity. I faced the same dilemma when I was sitting across one of the biggest exporter from BUA India, who is exporting hand tools to different parts of the Europe, Mr. Chavla. The meeting started with a very promising note. He told me, Paramjit, wow, your plier sleeve is really great. Wonderful aesthetics and mechanical properties. My customers in Europe really liked it. And I wish to place an order for about 100,000 pieces per month. Please let us know what is your best price for it. Mr. Chavla, thank you very much for your appreciation. However, please accept my apologies because I cannot supply you these particular sleeves because I have made a commitment with another customer that I will not supply this particular sleeve to any other customer. Oh, do you have any contract? No, sorry, just a verbal commitment. Oh, a verbal commitment? In business, what does that make difference? Please supply us. No, sir. A commitment is a commitment, whether it's a verbal or whether it's a written commitment. We must honor it. Okay, I can make another product for you within 1 month and will supply you the same. No. Paramjit, I don't mean that. I need it urgently. I can give you another offer. I will give you 1 rupee extra for every pair above your normal price. Sir, it's not about money. It's about commitment. I cannot supply you even a single piece with that commitment. Now he was really, fuming with anger. He got up and told me, get up from my office. And as soon as we came out of his office, my partner was just waiting for busting. Paramjit, you know what you have done? Did you realize we lost a customer? We lost huge profit and even extra gains. This did not stop here. Whenever in our company we have a financial challenges, my partners will remind me of this lost opportunity. But I never regretted my decision. I was at peace that I have upheld my commitment. And then something strange happened. 6 months down the line, Mr. Chawla again called for a meeting. Sitting across his table, I was not aware what is going to come now. Surprisingly, he offered an apology for his behavior. And then he gave me another star and told Paramjit, this I want from you, sir. And I don't want you to show it to everyone. Yes, 100%, sir. I will not show even to anyone this product also. Oh, I'm just joking, Paramjit. I believe on you. I trust you. That's why I called you back for another deal. You know, this meetings begins an era of mutual benefited, long-lasting business relationship. Within months, we not only recovered our losses, but we gained a lot of profits from his other orders also. You know, this reinforced one simple truth, that integrity is not a cost. It is an investment. In the shorter terms, you may feel that you are losing something. But in long run, integrity brings you trust, credibility, and a long-lasting success. My dear friends, I'm not talking about $1 million deals or scandals. This is what we do in our daily life and how we make our daily choices. Do we keep our commitments when it's inconvenient? Do we speak the truth when a lie is very easy to say? Do we treat our customers and our employees fairly even when nobody is watching us? So I challenge you. If you are an entrepreneur, start a business, build a business with honesty, not shortcuts. If you are an employee, do your best even when nobody is watching over you. And if you are a leader, build a culture of integrity in your organization where integrity is valued more than the short-term gains. Because at the end, profits may go up, go down, opportunity comes or goes, but there's only one currency, integrity, which give you a long-lasting success. Over to you, yeah.
Thank you, Paramjit. Thank you for reminding us that do we keep our commitment even when it is inconvenient? Commitment, whether verbal or written, is a commitment and must be honored. That is integrity. Thank you, Paramjit. Moving on to our next speaker. This is Guerdah Felix. Hello, Guerdah.
Hello.
Right. Hi, how are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
Very, very well. Guerdah will be evaluated by Phoebe and Joseph. Fabian, how are you?
I'm great, Irene.
Okay. Madam Zoom Master, where is our speaker? Thank you. Fabian, over to you. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Today, Guerdah will be presenting from Persuasive Influence, and the purpose of her project is to learn or receive basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose, and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So that's what Guerdah will be doing today. Back to you, Irene.
Thank you, Fabian. Guerdah Felix, the in-between. The in-between, Guerdah Felix. The stage is yours.
Animals experience various types of transformations throughout their lives, ranging from physical changes to behavioral shifts. For example, the butterfly, as we've heard of the story before. But have you had the opportunity to experience the transition of a butterfly? By show of hands, who has had this opportunity here? It is such a beautiful experience for me to have gone through, because butterflies undergo a remarkable transformation from egg to larva. This is the caterpillar, then to chrysalis, and finally into an adult butterfly. Every morning when we wake up, we would go downstairs and look, because we had made a glass jar for the butterfly. It was like a box, but in a glass. And every morning we would go down and we would look. Where is it? What is it doing? Oh yeah, can you see it? Every morning. And sometimes it felt like it wasn't doing anything at all. The caterpillar forms a protective casing around itself. This is what it's called a cocoon, in which it leads to its complete transformation. This is something that I have noticed. Throughout its transition, the caterpillar is covered. Therefore, it is protected as it is going through its transition. This is what I call the in-between stage. Similarly, as human beings, we also go through several transitions, such as sickness, divorce, loss of family members, and much more. According to Hugh D'Alconzo, in his book, Self-Mastery, A Journey Home to Yourself, we experience many steps in our transformation. Many steps in the in-between stage. And here are the steps. Ascension and crash. Fear identity creation. We unconsciously, involuntarily replicate our fear identities. And the fourth one, unconscious avoidance of fear process. Today, I will focus on the ascension and crash syndrome. It is important to recognize it, because as I am going through a transition myself, I am very aware of what is happening. in me and around me. Because in my in-between stage, it is important for me to observe so that I can learn as I go through the steps of transitions. But what happens during the ascension and crash syndrome? For me, this is what has happened. The ascension, I was happy. I found new employment. It was great because I wanted to do something different. So I left my work where I worked there for 11 years and decided to take on something new, something that is very foreign to me. But when I received the news, I was elated. More money, even better. That was my ascension process. But as I am going through the training, now I started to doubt myself. Am I good enough? Will I be able to understand what I need to do in this new role? And I see myself, I felt myself starting to panic. Imposter syndrome, anybody? And this is the crash. When we are aware that we are going through different steps in our transition, we are able to do something different. Like the butterfly, it is important that we cover ourselves as we go through this transition. It is important that we give ourselves all the love possible. It is also important for us to surround ourselves with people who are there for us. In summary, I want you to remember the story of the butterfly because the butterfly gives us a very good example of the different transition to our transformation. And also, the butterfly is an example of how we need to go through this transition. So remember, when you are in your in-between stage, it is important for you to cover yourself because the way that you experience the in-between stage will determine how you will become this beautiful butterfly. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow, thank you, Guerdah, for reminding us to pay attention, to observe our in-between transitions and seasons and cover ourselves with people who would love us and protect us. Next will be our fifth speaker. Our fifth speaker is Irene Cassinela. There is Irene. And Irene will be evaluated by Terrence Whyte. Terrence, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Irene.
Good. Let us know what Irene will be talking to us about today.
Thank you. Toastmaster Irene Cassinela is attempting his first project in level 5 in the dynamic leadership path. And this part or this project is titled Lead in Any Situation. The purpose of this project is for Irish to apply the skills needed for leading successfully in a volunteer organization or any other organization. The purpose of the speech he's about to deliver is for him to share an aspect of this experience as a leader and or the impact of the 360 evaluation that he does. Now, Irish has also asked me to look out for the speech structure and flow, and I'll be doing that as he speaks. Thank you, and back to you, Master of the Day.
Terrence. Irish, how are you?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Irish Cassinela, lead like a chameleon, changing colors in leadership. Lead like a chameleon, changing colors in leadership. Irish Cassinela, the stage is yours.
Iris, come here, come here. What's up? She's changing colors. She is changing colors, Irish. Of course. She's a chameleon. That's what chameleon does. But why is that, Irish? Chameleon change colors to match the environment. That's how I grew up knowing about chameleons. However, later I came to realize that that's not quite the truth. That is not quite the truth. In fact, chameleons will change colors not as a form of camouflage, but actually as a form of communication. If you see a chameleon getting brighter with vivid colors, actually is trying to communicate danger, action. Let me ask you, fellow leaders and guests for today. If you think you are a democratic leader, I want you to raise your hand or wave to the camera. If you think you're a democratic leader, please wave to the camera or raise your hand. If you are an authoritarian leader, raise your hand or wave to the camera. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, chameleons do teach us that when you are a leader, you do need to change your colors. You do need to change your approach to leadership. You do need to adapt your leadership style based on the environment you are in, based on the needs of your team and of your team members. Let me digress and bring a figure here, well known in Africa. I'm speaking from Africa. Nelson Mandela, from a revolutionary leader to adapting post-apartheid, the unifying figure known today around the world. How come? Would you expect a revolutionary leader fighting apartheid to change his color to be a unifying figure and well known in the world today? As I reflect in my leadership path for the last 15 years plus in one of the most hazardous industry, I've been involved in various scenarios, various contexts of leadership. Irish, we have an emergency, So what leadership should be applying if we have an emergency? For Toastmasters and esteemed guests, what you will know is that every single one of us have a dominating leadership style. Let me bring here Ercilla Blanchard model. Ercilla Blanchard model tell us about 4 different styles of leadership: directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating. Irish, we have an emergency. Come on, Irish, we have an emergency. Let's do something. As a leader, you need to be aware of what is your primary leadership style. Because unfortunately, that's the leadership style that you default to if you're not aware of. If you're a democratic leader, for example, and you're not aware of your primary leadership style, you'll be defaulting to a democratic leadership style. However, you may not want to have a democratic approach to an issue. So I'm an emergency, right? I'm an emergency. I'm dealing with an emergency. I need to save people's lives. I don't want people giving opinions. I don't want people telling me I don't like that. I like that. I don't have that time. So my approach will be a direct approach. I need the facts and to make decisions. I need to make decisions fast. So I need to save people. I need to be able to change colors. A chameleon-like leader will be aware of his primary leadership style, but will need to be able to adapt and to readapt like a chameleon, based on the environment, based on the condition, based on the conditions, based on the team, and based on what he needs to achieve. I did lead a project, and I know, and many of us here are leaders. When you're leading a project to change or for a change, the approach that I did, once the scope of the change was defined, to be able to have a successful project, I need to have everyone to buy in the project. Hence, what leadership style will be implying to make sure that once I implement the change, I have the buy-in of everyone in my organization. I leave that question to yourself. You have a new team member in your team, and I get team members in my team all the day. I'm sure many of you guys and girls get team members in your teams. Have a team member who is new, brand new from university, is a graduate. What I have seen in my experience is that young individuals straight from school, they are highly motivated. However, they are not experienced. If we shift back to Hersey Blanchard model, what will be the right leadership style for that young graduate employee, full of motivation, however, doesn't know what to do and how to do it? For these individuals, what I have done is actually use a directing leadership style. So I will tell him what he needs to do, how he needs to do, and by when he needs to do. I direct him. So it's a direct approach. He doesn't know what, how, and when to do it. However, I have team members in my team that actually, they can do my job today. If I'm unable to report work, they just step up. I do not need to articulate what needs to be done. John, I'm off sick. I'm going home. Be on charge. This is the plan. He just does it. As leaders, we need to be aware of those competencies within our team members. This will help us to shape what is the best leadership style to be using for every single individual. Sometimes they just need a support. He knows what to do. He knows how to do, but he just needs some motivation. And I get that a lot with the people that are very experienced and oftentimes just slack. How do you motivate these individuals? So they are in that quadrant of supporting. They need some support. They're tired doing the same job every day for 20 years. No wonder you lose motivation, right? So you need to know where your individuals within your team are placed so you can best support them. Chameleon-like leader. A chameleon-like leader. And if you bring another model or another concept, which is a situational leadership, it implies exactly that, situation. Wrapping up, let me challenge you, if you have raised your hand before, let me challenge you that be a situational leader, be a chameleon-like leader, and employ the best approach based on your team needs. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Irish, for your speech. It is not enough to know your style, but also know where your team members are at, and so that you act accordingly. That brings us to the end of our prepared speeches for today. At this point, I will ask the timer to post the times for all the speeches in the chat box. As he's doing that, I will ask Madam Zoom Master to launch the polls for the better speaker. And Planner, would you kindly post the guest book in the chat? Our guests, we would really, really love to have a chat with you. And by you posting, filling up this guest book, it gets us an opportunity to be able to speak with you later. It is now my indeed pleasure to invite our general evaluator. And our general evaluator is our compassionate queen of straight talk. And she has evolved this skill over the last 32 years as a Toastmaster, leading both self and others requires an open mind, she says. And transformation is the magic of evolution as we stretch and grow. Please welcome with me, Sandra Vaux, BTM.
Thank you so much, Irene. Beautiful. Beautiful delivery of an introduction that I really appreciate. As the GE today, I'm going to walk us through all of these wonderful evaluations of the speeches. What an array we have had. And to get us started, we are going to start with evaluating the toast. Daniel Odera is saying that transformation provides an opportunity for leaders to begin on a new path to success. Daniel, come and evaluate Nicole Whyte, our toast. Thank you.
We're just waiting for Dan to start his video, Sandra. There it goes.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Nicole. Fantastic presentation of the toast. And you started off well with telling us, let me chat to you, and great Zoom presence and great, you touched us by telling us about how, talking about some examples of transformation very well. Martin Luther King and where he started and then became what he was. You also then brought something home in leadership yourself, your experience with transformation, and how Bram Memon was one of the people who got you to transform. And you went on to a third story. The things you excelled at was your sharing of the stories, how you passed on the message of what transformation looks like, what is transformation, what you could consider. The toast is a 2 to 3 minutes, a 3-minute opportunity to celebrate. And he said, let's start and talk about what we maybe done differently? Let's celebrate the transformations we see. Because in that case, if someone came in and then you came on and said, start your videos, at that point, we know it's a toast that we are coming in to celebrate. That's why we're doing it. And then also you'll have the chance to talk about, instead of having 3 stories, have 2 stories that you can talk about what the people did, how then, what was it that we're celebrating, the transformation, what brought their transformations in. This then would be a great addition to that. But all in all, great presentation, great Zoom presence, clearly talked about the transformation, ended well, and then the toast was done brilliantly. Thank you for this presentation, Nicole, and I look forward to listening to more of your speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you for that, Dan. I like the way that you are touching on the good stuff, encouraging with your corrections, or not your corrections, the try this. I like to call it try this. And you brought in lots of points that Nicole can chew on. And then you left her feeling positive in the end. That, to me, is the key to a caring evaluation that people can evolve into, transform into, not have to cover themselves up. It's put forward gently, but clearly. And you commented on the Zoom as well, which is always important because we want to connect through Zoom as much as possible. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Thank you, Dan. Next, we have Guerdah evaluating Irene as the Toastmaster of the day. Guerdah says making an impact is essential to reach the mind of others. Help me welcome Guerdah to evaluate Irene.
General Evaluator, our Toastmaster of the day, Irene, you really engaged me and all the audience in this meeting with your calmness, voice, tone, and clear vocabulary. You asked me to watch for your vocal vocabularies, but as a Toastmaster of the day, you kept the same tone, which was very effective. You welcomed the guest, the most important audience for our meeting. The guest, you asked them to put their information so we could contact them. However, I would have liked you to ask them to give their feedback when they hear the speeches, because their valuable feedback is important to us. That's how we could transform as well. I like how you explained our theme of the day through the story of the soccer player or the football player, Messier, and his accomplishment through his transformation. You told us how many trophies and awards he gained, but as an impactful leader for him, did the clubs he played with had any trophies? How impactful was his leadership through his transformation? I like how you made all the speakers very comfortable when you called them with a smile, and your smile was realistic. You did not stand like the MC who smiled the whole time. You smiled when you needed and made people feel comfortable. You knew your agenda. You really led this meeting. I liked when you stepped up, when one of the speakers was still getting ready and there was a silence, gap of silence. You stepped up and you asked him how he's doing. That's excellent leadership. I would have liked you to have complete eye contact until you finish your statement. or whatever you were saying. When you're saying thank you to people, look at the camera, and that's the thing you asked me to watch for, your eye contact. You had wonderful eye contact for the whole time, except you put your eyes down when you were saying thank you or saying your last phrase. All in all, great leadership through conducting a Toastmaster of the day, explained your role, explained the theme, you welcomed the guests, you invited them all the time. Just work on the eye contact. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Guerdah. Thank you. A complete and thorough evaluating Toastmaster of the day is quite the challenge to get it done in the 3 minutes. It is a stretch because there are so many duties happening. You went through all the great points and came up with a couple improvements. One area where I probably just disagree is when one of the speakers was quiet and then Irene jumped in and said, "How are you doing?" I don't particularly like that interruption throughout the meeting period, because that speaker probably was in their mind, they needed that silence, and then they would start their speech. I guess that will be something, throughout the whole Toastmaster meeting, which has started somehow. Somehow somebody started, "Oh, how are you?" and ready. Well, the speaker, the performer, is in their head and thinking, "I want to punch right in." So I'm hoping that would make a little bit of a change, and that's not only on you, Guerdah, but I think likely we're better to give people their space and let them be prepared. But thank you for a very thorough evaluation and on a professional job as Toastmaster of the day. Our next evaluator is Ray Rivero, and he has the equally huge challenge because the keynote for the day, Renan and Ercilla, that's a lot of information to evaluate in the same 3 minutes everyone else gets. Ray says that when one takes up a role, whether by speaking or evaluating or by leading, one embraces steps to transform and grow and to learn to change confidently. Ray, over to you and evaluate Renan.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Renan, let me try to articulate some of the things that I've picked up from your speech. Starting with Brahm's comment in the chat. You illustrate a great journey on how transformation is for everyone. Growth mindset, learning, improving yourself every day. Very powerful message. And it all starts with taking small risks, one step at a time. Now, I love how you presented yourself, especially how you used your voice to convey enthusiasm, and more importantly, you enunciated your words very well. I understood from beginning to end what you were saying. I loved how your speech was organized and the use of your examples, especially the example about Steve Jobs. That was powerful. It started just with more than technology. It went beyond technology. That's the example of transformation, great use of a descriptive language. And this is something that all of us at Toastmasters have done sooner or later when we've done speeches, how we have lost our train of thought right in the middle of speaking. You paused a little bit and you regained that thought. And then you just continued on as if nothing happened. It's a very important skill to learn, especially when you're doing a speech that's bigger than the 5 to 7 minutes. That's a great technique and a great level of maturity of transformation as a speaker. Now, to some of the things I've worked on, I saw that you sat down during the speech. Consider standing. to express more of your body language and your gestures. Because sometimes I noticed that you use the gestures and then all of a sudden it kind of went down as if you were playing the piano a little bit. But to allow yourself to stand to allow more body freedom of movement. And then also, sometimes you gestured a little bit too much. Even I noticed that even at the, even while you were sitting down. So when you stand up, you have a neutral position, be relaxed. And then when you need to bring up the gestures to illustrate your points, you bring them up. And then once you're done with expressing those thoughts or ideas, back down. Relax. Enjoy yourself. And then there's no need to say that's all or thank you. It's the audience that should be thanking you because we have a chance to help you improve as a speaker. So to challenge yourself, more vocal variety such as tone and pace to convey more enthusiasm. And I sense there was a struggle to share that enthusiasm because you were just learning how to do that. And then participate in a speech contest. You take the same speech, revise and repeat it over and over again at your clubs. And then you can see those ideas that you can take to other speeches. And invite the audience, challenge them, keep their interest with an occasional pause, facial gesture, and so forth. And you had a great conclusion that challenged the audience. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ray. And here's a little extra evaluation today because Ray is getting evaluated on his evaluation as one of his projects. So this is it. Right into it. Ray, I like how you give a very brief hello, but you're right into it. And I think that's always where we want to get to. You had clear steps, deep listening, and you blended the content issue and caught all that lovely descriptive language that went beyond. So your way of presenting it to me was very encouraging to Renya. You paused and regained. I loved when you caught that. That was a good catch. And it's one of those deep listening things that if you hadn't caught that, you wouldn't be aware just how smoothly he handled it. And that's important too. You gave really clear ideas for improvement. Consider standing. And I think what you did was the same as I did. You kind of caught the tiredness. Caught the tiredness. He was tired today. And that brought the energy down, and you caught that. And you handled it very nicely without being quite so blunt as I am. He was tired. I commented that to himself, and he said, yeah, I was tired. Well illustrated pointers, and you closed with cheering him on. Somehow you have to find that little magic when you see that red comes up. But overall, really well done, Ray. Thank you so much for stepping up to that project and evaluation. Now we go on to our first evaluator for our speeches, Guerdah. Guerdah Shah. She has a repeat performance here. So she does like making an impact because it's essential. And here she is impacting us again as she evaluates Buhari. Guerdah, to evaluate Buhari, please.
Madam General Evaluator.
I'm not
Excuse me?
evaluating Buhari, somebody else is now.
It's Pulkit.
Yes, it's Pulkit.
Who is it then, please?
Pulkit Gupta.
Okay, Pulkit. We'll have Pulkit, and I don't know what he thought of transformation. He can tell us and then do the evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Looking forward was what the speech title read. And definitely was looking forward to your speech today, Buhari. And here's what I feel propelled your speech forward into excellence. The first is the project objective was met beautifully. The objective said you had to either demonstrate your leadership style or styles, the primary styles, and share some aspect of it. And you did it. You shared various leadership styles that you have experimented with, then drew a conclusion that coaching style is something that you consider your primary style, and then shared aspects of it from both your presidential life in the club leadership role and your in the banking sector. Your vocal flexibility is excellent. When you mentioned good leaders and bad leaders, you came close and said that I was the youngest in the team. Both times, the vocal flexibility conveyed what you were trying to convey. The second time, the first was you wanted to show sarcasm, it was conveyed. The second time, you wanted to show emphasis that you were youngest, and that was conveyed well. Well done on the vocal flexibility part. The third, what I felt beautifully done, Buhari, is a speaker, and even the ballot says that, just the ballot, that a speaker should demonstrate directness, assurance, and enthusiasm. And I do feel that your voice is enthusiastic, your presence is direct, and your aura as a speaker is definitely exudes assuredness. So well done on that. Allow me to propel your speech forward by tailoring some recommendations. Very first thing is a technical recommendation, Buhari, and the reason I am moving forward will be apparent at some time. Certain junctures in your speech, the audio was lost. And the biggest problem here was towards the end, when the runway towards the end is the most important for a speaker, because this is when the speaker is making the speech actionable for the audience, what's in it for them. And this is when the audio lost. And so just work on the fact to ensure your video was fine, completely fine. Let your audio also shine through completely immaculately. Good speakers convey ideas. Great speakers are memorable. You had your chance to make the speech memorable, Buhari, and let's index it back to your speech title, looking forward. Try to repeat the looking forward phrase multiple times. For example, instead of saying I did not want to be the president, say I was not looking forward to be the president. So say instead of I was afraid to lead my team as I was young, I was not looking forward to lead the team as I was young. And have questions where you incorporate looking forward in your questions. Are you looking forward? Are you looking forward? XXX. So looking forward could be a foundational phrase which would have made the speech memorable. This is what I encourage you. The third recommendation, Buhari, will be around your facial flexibility. You had vocal flexibility. Facial flexibility is more like on the happy side. Try to have more facial flexibility instead of just being the happy-go-lucky speaker. Just work on your facial flexibility, make your speech more memorable, and ensure your audio setup is also immaculate, as was the video today. And keep up the amazing work with meeting the project objective and having vocal flexibility, and keep being direct, enthusiastic, and assured. I'm pretty sure your next speeches will be a fast forward to speaking greatness. Over to you, Managerial Evaluator.
Thank you, Pulkit. That was so much fun. You made the evaluation lots of fun, and apologies for missing on the agenda that had changed. It's really energetic, I think, when we can make it fun and pull the energy up in the room. You did that. You covered a lot of ground. You covered everything that could be covered. Well done. Challenging again, when the red came up, you couldn't quite get out. We can't get everything into a 3-minute evaluation. The rest of it would go in writing. The one thing that I found with Buhari's speech that you didn't talk about in the Zoom presence was that blue background was just so bright and so blue, it overpowered for me. I don't know about others, but it's something, it was just so bold that it diminished the speaker in my heart. Anyhow, beautifully done, and we shall move on here. Aruna, so you are evaluating Nellie Ayodo. And Aruna says that leadership is all about influence, and influence leads to transformation. Aruna?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you, Nellie, for reminding us Toastmaster is and remain a supportive environment. Thanks to your speech, you know more about you. You are from Nairobi, Kenya, and you joined Toastmaster 15 years ago. And your speech was about gratitude. And we saw how you express gratitude from the beginning to the end of your speech. First of all, to the member of your community club in Nairobi, Kenya, who helped you to become a better communicator. And after that, to Dan and Rosie, who helped you to join leadership speech. Your speech were well structured from the beginning to the end, and your Zoom presence was good, and also your end gesture was good. And I really love the fact that the way you used your hand to express gratitude, that was wonderful. Congratulations for that. You have reached the goal of your speech. In terms of improvement, you can improve your vocabulary, especially when you are talking about gratitude. You can lower your voice. And after that, it was a great speech. Congratulations for that. And your message was also motivational. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Aruna. You have encapsulated the evaluation beautifully. I could see the steps going through so that nothing was missed. You did do deep listening and you gave excellent ideas for try this for the improvement. Beautifully done. Thank you. That was an icebreaker, and an icebreaker often needs that gentle touch, and you brought that as well. Even though we have an experienced 15-year speaker, it's still good to have that icebreaker out of the way in this new club. Marino Canti, you are next, and I forgot to write over what you had to say after we did all of our beautiful conversation. But I do remember we had a smile while we were getting it, and I called him Smiley, and he said, hey, yeah. So Smiley, Smiling Marino, can you please come and evaluate Paramjit's speech?
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we all are storytelling, but onus on us how we can make it more impactful. Fellow Toastmaster and guest, today I had the pleasure, the witness of Mr. Paramjit Singh weave words into the captive narrative, demonstrated to the true essence of effective communications. The performance was like a well-composed symphony, rich in expression, steady in delivery, and impactful in message. So let me talk about her strength. From the moment Toastmaster Paramjit began, transported us into their world of vivid storytelling, the storytelling of integrity, storytelling of authenticity, and how it impacts. We all can remember that. Such impactful story, how we can deal in our business through negotiation skill. I think that's one of the great story I have listened in recent time. Next, I'm talking about the posture, the power of presence, like a seasoned orator, the Toastmaster Paramjit upright the composed posture throughout confident. The grounded state confident assurance while stable purpose movement and added dynamism without any distractions. The poet's presence amplified their credibility, keep us engaged throughout his speech. Not last but least, eye contact. The silent connection is eye contact. What truly stood out, the speaker eye contact, it was although in the online meeting, but speaker directly to each of us, creating a sense of inclusion with the every glance. They drew us in. The hallmark of authenticity with communications. So at the end of the day, we always want to improve in our own dimension. So same for Toastmaster Paramjit. So I have some few recommendations for Paramjit to becoming a more effective speaker. First, I just want to highlight the Zoom presence, the framing the spotlight. While the content was compelling, the speaker Zoom presence could redefine at their positions in the screen, didn't fully capture the expressions or gesture due to blur in the hands. We all can observe that. For instance, they move slightly off frame and part of the visual connection. You can see that. And so sometimes we lost the connection as a speaker. And not least, I'm talking about the facial expressions. So because of the blur in the background is not coming properly, through the speaker's words were expressive, their face sometimes remained neutral. More varied facial expression could be elevated the emotional resonance of their speech. For example, if a reflection pause would add more depth and authenticity to their delivery. And last but not least, the gesture. Speak with your hand gesture. While Toastmaster Paramjit speak, use some gesture, there were opportunities for more dynamic movement. Interstage is there, but Toastmaster Paramjit try to fix in only one position. It's better to use the stage like a theater, as he is from theater background, so he can use that. So overall conclusion, I must say that few recommendations I should have for Toastmaster Paramjit. That Toastmaster Paramjit is a memorable, delivers an impactful speech, skillful blending storytelling with confidence, posture, and engaging eye contact. By enhancing their Zoom presence, infusing more facial expression, and incorporating various gesture, can transformation that already the power delivery to true masterclass in effective communication. With this, I know that he will be the master of public speaking. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Neil, for that very elaborate evaluation. It's always a challenge to really dig in deep when you have an accomplished speaker, and it's really important. So you were going to go for getting the more impactful, and that's exactly what Paramjit would be wanting to get. You came in on all the content points, and maybe that's where it took up some of your time. You maybe didn't need to regurgitate all of the points because we don't want to give the same speech, even though you were recognizing they were there. When you got to the Zoom and you got techie, you just couldn't get stopped. We went into the red again, but I'm so happy that you did address the Zoom because I found it foggy and disappearing body parts, and I wasn't sure what had happened, and it certainly took away from the impact. Thank you very much, Renan. Our next evaluator is Fabian Joseph, evaluating Guerdah Felix. Fabian is an accomplished Toastmaster with over 4 years of experience, currently excelling as our VP of membership. He embodies the mindset that if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And this belief propels him in his relentless pursuit of improving his communication and leadership skills. Over to you, Fabian.
Thank you very much. Guerdah, the in-between. We were able many of our daily life. Today, you excelled with the analogy of the butterfly because you carefully crafted and you bridged the analogy of the butterfly into our life itself. And the way how it flows very smooth, you were able to show us the phases and also elaborate on one of the most important phases, the pupil phase, where it is being covered and the importance of going through that phase, and the importance of covering yourself. And it is definitely a very beautiful sight, just to see how something moves from that phase into a very beautiful butterfly, that life transformation. As you presented, your eyes were moving from right to left and left to right, which indicated to me that you were reading. And by reading, it disconnected you from this speech that you are giving. It is very important to connect with the audience so that they will be able to have that effect of that in-between phase. There were a time when there were a phase, a part in your speech where you stated, I started to doubt myself. And you stated that, but you still had that great smile on your face. And I believe that is also a time when we needed to see that emotion. That is where that emotion of doubting yourself should have transferred to the audience so that we could feel that emotion. Standing and speaking could have also enhanced your presentation today. Taking a few steps back so that we could have seen more of that body movement, that hand gesture, because you were describing a lot of stuff, but we did not see your hand gesture. We did not see a lot of your body movement. And when you were covering yourself to show the importance of covering yourself, we could have just seen a small bit of that. So just step in a few spaces back so that we could be seeing more of your body movements. In your speech also, you stated, surround yourself with good people. I would have loved to hear the reason why we should surround ourselves with good people, and who are the people you consider are good people to surround ourselves in during this phase when we are going through these recommendations that is being presented to you today. I believe that it will help to enhance you by connecting to the audience more. It will also help us
Madam
to
G, all yours.
make your speech a bit natural and have a clear voice.
Thank you,
very
Vivian.
much.
Thank you so much. Vivian, that was back into the red again. We've got a lot of people in the red today. Financially, that would not be good. Vivian, you had some, what I'm calling the freezing stuttering that was going on with your internet. So hopefully you will send a prepared evaluation as well. I'm glad that you caught the reading distraction and you had really great pointers for Guerdah. I'm going to just move along now that Guerdah will get that written one from you as well. Our final and fifth evaluator today is Terrence Weir. He's evaluating, I can't talk today, Irish Cassinela. Terrence says that just like the butterfly is transformed from a caterpillar, I have experienced the power of transformation in my life. Terrence, can you please evaluate Irish?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Quickly into the evaluation, I'll start with the areas where you excelled, Irish. The first one was structure. You had asked me to look out for structure, flow, and relevance of the content. I found your structure effective in the sense that when you started off giving us a real-life example of a chameleon, we were drawn into the speech, and we were able to follow all along through relating that to leadership and finally bringing us back to the call to action, which was, in my assessment, that we need to pick the most appropriate style as leaders. That was effective because in that we saw what you wanted the audience to take away and what you wanted to tell the audience. The second one was in terms of clarity. when I look at that speech, the overarching theme was about transformation, right from the chameleon through to the leadership, and finally the call to action. You were consistent with your message. And that was effective in the sense that we were able to follow along, and anybody joining at any point of the meeting could tell that you are talking about transformation, which links back to the theme of the day. And the third area where you excelled was the use of evidence. When you went into the technical details, for instance, the models, you were able to quote the Hasse-Blanchard model and the other model, which I believe is situational. Yes, situational leadership. Besides that, you are also able to quote an authority in leadership, that is Nelson Mandela, and that is effective. Where would you improve so that you can transform yourself to the next level? The first one is in terms of the summary. While I could see the various parts of your speech and connect them, it is important and imperative for you to help the audience get to the same stage. Help us see how the points connect by providing a summary of your speech. The second area is the delivery. While you are able to share the stories and various aspects, there's an opportunity for you to, for instance, stand up while delivering your speech and incorporate tonal variation when talking in place of the first character or the second character yourself. And finally, I would like to wrap this up by encouraging you and challenging you to proceed to the next level. And as I said earlier, this was an effective speech. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Terrence. Thank you. I like the way you just went. I'm going to go quickly into the evaluation. This was probably the most professional one, I would say, you know, where you got to doing your job. Just go in there and get doing your job. You were organized and direct to Irish, and the effectives were there first. Then you very clearly said, here's the points I see for improvement, and certainly left Irish feeling positive about moving forward, and that is critical. That brings the end to our evaluations. Now, if we could have our timer, Holmes, if you could please lose that avatar and let us see the real Holmes. Please. We will get your timer's report listed. Oh, sorry, you've got it. You're ahead of me. Just remove the avatar. Okay, we've got the timer's report and the poll for choosing your best effort evaluator. Take a moment for the poll. And now we'll move along to our grammarian, Atul Sankar. Could you please articulate your grammarian's report? Atul?
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. I'll be articulating my grammarian report. Today was really a great day. I noted down some good quotations, thoughts, and words, as well as some improper usage. And I think the word articulate, we all used it well. The total count was 9 times. Toastmaster Irene used it 1 time. Toastmaster Ray used it 2 times. Toastmaster Renan used it 1 time. Toastmaster Buhari used it 2 times. Toastmaster Nellie used it 1 time. Toastmaster Dan used it 1 time. And Sandra used it 2 times. And me, myself, I used it 3 times. So I think it's great, and let's not stop using it. Let's use in the continuation of the meeting, articulate, the word articulate. And coming to some good quotes, thoughts, Toastmaster Renan, I really liked the way you said, inspiring meaningful changes and iconic innovation. And transformation is a continuous journey that really piqued me. And I really like the way you said transformation is a continuous journey and it's not a single time or moment. Toastmaster Buhari, she mentioned leadership is a key ingredient, which I really liked. Nellie Ayodo, proof and gratitude. Paramjit, wonderful aesthetics. Build business with honesty. Guerdah Felix, in between stage. Aries, camouflage, hazardous industry. Esteemed comedian-like leader. Situational leader. These are some good words which I really liked. Toastmaster Irene, compassionate queen. Toastmaster Pulkit, runway towards the end, and and the way you mentioned the quote, good speech convey ideas, but great speeches create usage, grammatical errors, or where people could speak, where you could just focus on the English was Toastmaster Renan, you could say, you said poverty, you could instead say poverty, and maybe you could work on the pronunciation and fluency for a better articulation. And in the between, you mentioned as a new Toastmaster and in when, you could say as a new Toastmaster and continue the sentence thereafter. And you mentioned their rewards, which could be said the rewards. Toastmaster Iris, based on the condition, you mentioned it twice, based on the condition, based on the condition. Maybe you could just say based on the condition, give a pause and then continue. And you mentioned around and around, instead you could just say around and continue. And Toastmaster Renan, I really like the analysis you made, but I would just advise you just focus on your sentence formation and grammatical and fluency would really matter, and that could really help. Thank you, friends. This was the grammarian report today, and have a nice day. Thanks to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Atul. Very thorough report. It was well into the red again. It'll be interesting to see what the count is when it's added on there. You were listening really well. You caught the articulate and the quotes, which were lovely. Watch that you don't continue on into evaluating instead. Just kind of stick with the job of the grammarian. But thank you so much for a very positive and encouraging process. Now I get to do my GE report of the meeting. I'm not going to go into detail on each part because they've been evaluated as we go. It was interesting to have the greetings from the car from Pulkit. He was doing really well with the welcome. And John as JFO, you did really right on. You were just bang on with your Sergeant at Arms duties, smooth flow, just went right on in. Postmaster of the Day, Irene, absolutely professionally, beautifully done. I can't imagine how you got it all moving so smoothly. And your energy is even coming over through Zoom, which I think had been a challenge in the past. So you're connecting right on through. So really well done. I mentioned earlier about the transition when you're introducing the next speaker. That speaker, I know when I have my speech and I'm thinking about, okay, how do I want to start? I want to be in there. So I don't really want to be, oh, how are you today? And that, Celine Dion is ready to swoop down from the stage and come on. I don't think any MC would say, oh, and how are you, Celine? Up, she's halfway down the stage, but her mind is on her performance. So I would like to see that disappear, and that might be just a personal thing for me, but we'll leave it at that. You were short and efficient in getting people introduced, and I loved the way you put your passion into the introducing as well, because introductions are a delivery of their own and lifts the speaker up. So well done. The theme really went through. Once you had transformation up there, it blossomed not only through the opening of the meeting, but right on into the speakers. So all three of you were tied up beautifully, the Toastmaster, the toast, and the keynote. Really well done. I have just a little thing extra I want to put in here. The avatars are fun somewhere else, but they're not really professional. We have only each other to see so that we can actually pass artificial intelligence and know each other. So I know it was addressed once before when people started, and then we all started throwing up our avatar and we said, no, we're not doing that anymore. We need to see the real person. So avatars for another place. They might be fun, but not for the meeting, because the human connection is where the trust is built. So let's not let AI take our humanity away. The grammarian and evaluators, everyone was encouraging today. I'm going to leave it at that and just say what a wonderful meeting I've enjoyed and hand it back over to our Toastmaster of the day, Irene.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for a very well and professionally done segment of our meeting. At this point, I will be calling. I haven't seen us vote for the better evaluator. Madam Zoom Master, could you launch that? Was it done? I didn't see that.
Yes, I launched the poll and we have votes.
Oh, you did. My apologies. My apologies. Okay. My apologies. Thank you. All right. So at this point, I want to call Nicole Miller-Douglas to deliver the thought on the theme. Nicole?
Hello, Toastmasters and our esteemed guests. Today's theme says, lead with impact, the power of transformation. It is the goal of Leadership Speak to transform your position from that of a guest at Leadership Speak to becoming a member. So I hope today's meeting was quite persuasive in allowing you to make that profound decision. Starting from the toast, which started on a journey from the University of the West Indies, Jamaica, moving on to Renan, who gave us such powerful information to convince us that transformation is not just an event. Transformation means there is movement happening. There is elevation and increase. As he spoke about Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, and most of all, his personal testimony as Renan told us how he started as a timid speaker and now he's a confident speaker delivering a keynote speech. Renan, thank you for that testimony of your journey of transformation. And then we moved on to other speakers, Buhari, who told us that leadership is not just limited to a special geographical boundary. As transformational leaders, we can do transformation from whichever part of the world we are located. Thank you so much, Nellie, for encouraging us and reminding us that success is not achieved alone, but with the help of others. And that's why Leadership Speak exists, to help each and every member to transform. What is your goal today? What do you want to move from to? Leadership Speak can help you with that transformation. Then there was the powerful speech by Paramjit. Leaders build a culture of integrity. One way that we will transform ourselves is by being committed to our words, or let your word be your bond. Indeed. Thank you so much, Guerdah, as she topped it all off, telling us about the butterfly and the process of transformation that the butterfly demonstrates to all of us in a very beautiful way. And we move on to Iris, who told us about the chameleon, who the animal that changes its color as a form of communication. Then we moved on to Sandra, who steered us well throughout the whole evaluation segment. I must make special mention of Mirnal. I've never seen an evaluator demonstrate a snapshot of the speaker they're evaluating. I really love that. That was very effective and creative, showing us how we can transform and elevate our evaluation as we give feedback to our speakers. And I will end with this note. As Fabian indicated, the coverage that Toastmaster Guerdah alluded to in her speech, cover yourself with love. Surround yourself with the people who are able to help you to transform today. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Nicole, thank you for a lovely, lovely thought of the day, thought of the theme. At this point, our next section is our awards. Is our PR master, are we ready?
Yeah, it's ready. I just shared.
Okay. Our best speaker was Nicole Whyte. Well done, Nicole. And our best evaluator was Terrence. Well done, Terrence. And of course, to all the other speakers and all the other evaluators, well done. Thank you very much, Paramjit. Okay, I would also like to thank all the role takers who have ensured that this meeting was a success. Every single person, the ones who are here today and the ones who have worked behind the scenes. Thank you. When I started off, I talked about Lionel Messi. And Messi is a great player, but he does not play alone. He plays in a team. So the awards that he has won as an individual, they are also incorporated with all the awards he's won with his team. His team is great. They have just won the last World Cup that was played. And he would not have done what he has done on his own. He did that with the effort, with the collaboration of his team. For you, my guests, our guests, my fellow Toastmasters, how are you using the power of transformation to make yourself better, to make yourself great? How are you inspiring those within this club and those outside of this club in your sphere of influence to become the greatest they could ever be? At this point, I would like to hand it over to the president of the club, Ram Memo DTM, to speak with our guests. And I hope our guests, you're still on the call. This was the moment we had talked about. Your turn is here. Over to you, DTM Brown.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and welcome guests. Thank you all for being here and persevering till the end of our meetings. Our meetings are much longer than in a community club, as you've noticed, because we gave chance to everyone to express themselves well, because they're practicing to be leaders, to speak with confidence, conviction, and credibility. So, welcome everyone. And I would like to speak to a few guests who've actually signed our guest book, starting with Sashani Stone, all the way from Jamaica. Sashani, how are you and how did you find our meeting today?
Thank you. I will say it's not easy to have a 2-hour-long meeting and keep it totally engaging throughout, but I enjoyed it. I was engaged throughout the entire meeting. I absolutely love the diversity of your group, and I look forward to being able to visit your club in future. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we look forward to your membership starting perhaps in July or sometime.
It's on my calendar.
All right. I know that I saw your note in the guest book that you have to still complete a few levels to
Yes.
get to level 3 before you become a member. So we look forward to that. And Nicole Whyte will keep you on your toes. She's just amazing.
She will.
Wonderful. Our next guest that I'd like to speak to is, before I even speak to another guest here, I'd like to welcome Miko, who is a brand new member from April the 1st. Miko, if you are there, if you can put on your video. So he's joining from all the way from Bangladesh and starting from April. Hi, Miko, how are you?
Hi, Brown. I'm good.
So good to see you at this meeting as a guest still, of course. And next week,
Yes.
perhaps as a guest, but from April the 1st, you are a fully fledged member. So welcome to the club.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. And also, I got an email 45 minutes back that I can activate my account in your club. Thank
So
you so much.
we've started all the process of activating you, and we've registered you with the Toastmasters International as a member from April the 1st as well today. And you'll be put into the system as well with the club, and you'll be put in the members group pretty soon. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Thanks. And so our next guest that I'd like to speak to is, if I can see, is Mora from, I think she lives in Ireland. Mora and her cat, Amore.
Hello. I am a robot now. Now.
Can we see the real you? Mora?
Yes.
Hey, yes. All right. So did you enjoy this meeting again? I mean, you've been coming very regularly, so you must be enjoying our meetings, right? And there's Amore.
Amore. Is here. Say hello.
I think you should bring him to Canada.
Oh, yes. We'll be happy. And me all. Yeah.
I love cats.
Yeah. Yes. Show the face. He's a little shy. So I am trying to teach him to be a leader for this reason. He wants to be here. I see. He's going inside.
Well, if you can't become a member, at least let this cat here, Amore, become a member of Leadership Speak.
Yeah. So, did you hear? Did you hear?
So, are you enjoying our meetings?
Oh, yes, of course. I do. And my little one too, because look, he's here. Even he's shy.
And he's quite like Renan.
Oh,
Your cat
yes.
looks same with my cat.
Oh, you have a cat? Oh, same cat. Oh my goodness. Can you spotlight Renan there?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. And Renan is in Philippines and you are in Ireland. Look at that.
Yeah. Hello. See, look, there's a cat there. Oh, yeah.
Neil, how about that female?
Oh my God. That's amazing, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Say hello. There, look, there is one lad.
Hi.
Oh my God, that's amazing, isn't it? Oh, somebody can take the picture for us and send us for. It will be nice. A ver, come in. No. Oh, look.
So Zoom Master, if you can take a picture, that'll be great. And so next week we can have a meow contest. All right, thank you very much, and please do keep coming more as a guest, and let's see how we can get you to be a member soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having.
Absolutely, I will love having you, Maura, especially if you bring the cat as well, of course.
Oh yes, of course. Did you listen?
Our next guest that I can see on the screen is Kamisha Newman. Hi, Kamisha, how are you? Or Jackie Madden, if you are there.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hey, is that Kamisha?
Yes, it's Kamisha.
Are you able to put on your video?
No, here's the thing. I like woke up real late and then I checked my email and then I saw that you guys were on and I wanted to check it. So
Super.
I joined 20 minutes in and I'm so happy that I did. So I'm not at all prepared to be on screen, but I really enjoyed this meeting.
Kamisha, where are you speaking from? Where are you located?
I'm in Canada.
Oh, what part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh, like I'm in Mississauga. Well,
Yeah.
you're just a few miles away from where I am. So are you thinking of becoming a member?
I'm already a member of the Western Mount Dennis Toastmasters Club, so I was just so curious to learn a bit about your club.
Sure, absolutely. And you're welcome to join us again whenever you feel like. You can come as many times as you like. Keep learning. Thank you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will hand this back to our Toastmaster of the day, Irene Sadia.
Thank you, President Brown. There being no further business, I now declare this meeting adjourned. Zoom Master, you can stop the recording.